This is part 4 of section 3.7. We were just talking about some standard forms of some valid arguments, and then you have some invalid arguments. These are very common mistakes people make. So this one says, if P then Q, Q therefore P. Compare these two. You have a conditional on the top. Here, you're given the first part as your second premise. Here, you're given the second part. This one works, this one doesn't. Just think about, if it is raining, then I will bring my umbrella. If it is raining, then I will bring my umbrella. It is raining, therefore I bring my umbrella. If it is raining, I will bring my umbrella. I brought my umbrella, therefore it is raining. Well, that may or may not be true. Often is, but I often bring my umbrella and it doesn't rain at all. So, think about this. Whatever it needs to do, it needs to be true in all cases in order for it to be a valid argument. So, fallacy of the converse, fallacy of the inverse, and these are, basically the same ideas as these two right here that we had in the last section. Okay. You have the misuse of disjunctive reasoning. This one says P or Q, P, therefore not Q. Remember that with or, they can both be true as well. It's not an exclusive or where it's A or B, but not both. This is P or Q or both. So if I have an or here and I know that one of them is true, I still don't know whether that one's true or false. It could be either way because or allows for just one of them or both of them to be true. Okay? And then you have this transitive, misuse of transitive, and basically it's doing the same thing as you can't work backwards. So on this one, you start with P and you travel to R, and then you go from P to R. This one, you travel from P to R, but you can't start at R and go back to P because conditionals don't necessarily work in the opposite direction. Now, your textbook, I've used the names your textbook uses, but they've changed a lot of the names, and there's a good chance that some of you have encountered logic before, whether you were in a writing class and you had the classical fallacies where you're talking about slippery slope, straw man arguments, and those types of things. Or maybe you've actually seen some of these, maybe in a programming class, something else. There are more standard names than the ones you were talking about. So just so you can make those connections, direct reasoning is also called the law of detachment or modus ponens. Modus ponens is the one you're going to see most often. Contrapositive reasoning is also called indirect reasoning, denying the consequent, or modus tollens. Denying the consequent, what does that mean? Okay, there's your consequent, it's the second part of a conditional. Denying it, making it a not, that's where that comes from. Modus tollens is, again, the one you're most likely to hear. Okay. Disjunctive reasoning is also called the disjunctive syllogism. That's right here. Transitive reasoning is also often called the hypothetical syllogism. Okay. The fallacy of the converse is called a converse error, or sometimes affirming the consequent. Not denying it, affirming it. So right here, or fallacy of the converse. Right here, affirming it. It's not Q, it's Q. So we made the consequent correct, and they tried to go backwards, and you can't do that. Fallacy of the inverse is called denying the antecedent, denying the first part, and conclusion not the second part. That doesn't work as well. And then there's the misuse of disjunctive reasoning, or affirming the alternative is what that one's called, where here we can't conclude that it's not the other one by just saying it is one of those. Okay.